Call the meeting to order. All rise and pledge of allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, justice for all. Thank you. I'm going to deviate from the printed agenda this evening. For there are a few topics that are not on the agenda, and as soon as the rec director gets here, we're going to switch things up so we can get a topic covered. So please bear with me. I make a motion, we approve the minutes from August 27th. Second. All in favor? Q. Yep. Oh. You got Frank, you got your name, you got your name on everything. Payroll, and that is covered. Kyle and Jeff. Jeff, in accord, we had talked about doing the painting on the community center. Recently, Joe Egan had looked into block grants that we could get for the outside of the community center. So we kind of like to see if you would be interested in kind of postponing and working with us timeline wise on the grant process.
Okay.
If you would be willing to do that.
Explain a little bit more.
Okay, we can't do a letter of intent until the end of November, 1st of December.
Okay.
We need to have estimates for and this is for replacing the damaged wood, right, getting rid of all of the fascia boards and all that. So we wouldn't be able to do anything. Our letter of intent is the end of November, 1st of December. They'll answer us. Then we fill it out and provide what we're requesting monetary wise and present that, and award could be anywhere from June to August of next year.
Okay.
So we prefer to replace the stuff that needs to be replaced with a grant and
yes,
and do the painting as well.
Okay.
So if you'd be
looking more close to spring,
no, summer. Next summer. Yes. We can keep you up to date on the time frame and everything. That'll work.
Yes, because like we talked about before.
Yeah, that's 6,000.
For me to do this job, I had to get one other one done, but that we were gonna try to push that one back and get this one done.
Right.
So I can flip flop because that meeting is tomorrow for the next one.
Perfect.
So I don't have to have a meeting.
Yep.
I can just go ahead and start painting.
Right. So if that'll work for you, we'd appreciate your patience, and we'll keep you up to date on timeline as we get responses and things of that nature.
That's great.
So
that's fine to make.
Awesome. I appreciate that very, very much. Right. Kyle, you walked in while we were talking. We have block grants that we're going to request. End of November, 1st of December, put a letter of intent, and then they will respond if it's something that they will accept for us to do our request. The roof that you need to put over the ramp over there, that's not part of this. That we definitely need to have you do as soon as you can.
Okay.
Only because that's a whole different, that's an ADA compliance thing that we have to comply with as quickly as possible, type of thing. But I'd like to ask if you would be willing to provide us with an estimate for basically the T111 that's junk on the building, any of the wood structure stuff, the front, all the fascia, your eaves, all that. if you'd be willing to give us an estimate on that, so that we have an idea on how much to put in for this block.
Okay,
Would you be willing to do that as well?
on the entire building.
Yes, yes. Now instead of running like that's got T111 on it currently, we'd want, Joe, what do you call that stuff? It's pre-finished?
Party board
Yeah.
or just outside is another one and a certain key makes it,
Right,
it's a sanitation board.
right. We would be looking for something like that, not a T111 type of scenario. So, would you have, what is your timeline on the, doing that roof? I know you're extremely busy. I know you are.
The driveway around there.
Yep,
So I could get a pole in before that's done probably.
okay. Cliff, did you hear anything from Charlie at all?
Our guy,
Depend
hopefully,
on,
if you don't call me tomorrow morning, I'll reach out to him.
okay. All right, could you work
Definitely.
with Kyle to, so we can get that poll put in? Kyle, do you have any roundabout guess on time frame for you doing the roof?
Try to do it like the middle of the month.
Okay,
Put it in.
okay, perfect. You think you could work in the estimate to get to us and Joe for the remainder of it? Joe,
I'll be around so I can walk it with.
so that we can get a roundabout, because in order for us to put in for a grant, we have to go to a ballot or article that the taxpayers vote on if there's a 20, up to a 25% buy-in. So we need to have that permission before we can submit to do that kind of grant. So if you could work with Joe for the estimate while you're doing the roof, that'd be awesome. Then we can get that going, and keep you busy next year too. So I greatly appreciate both of you guys' times. I know you're very busy. Thank you very much. We'll definitely be in contact. Cliff, Kyle will, and then Joe will take care of that. And I will make sure, if you could, make sure we have your email. I've got your number.
Okay.
I mean, I've got your number.
I'll just send you an email.
Okay, and we'll make sure that we, as the process is going, we're keeping you up to date on everything, especially getting closer to if there's an award date, so that we can get everything put
Yeah,
on.
I'm gonna get a lull for the front and back. So
Yep.
I'd love to know in advance so I
Right.
can get it on that date, whatever.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
I'm
I
only
will,
gonna be using it for the front and back, so it'd be very quick and,
right,
so.
okay.
It would,
Yeah, we'll keep you up to date on everything that we receive, so that you know what's going on and there's no question. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I appreciate your time.
is it, should I stay for any more? Cause I just took a window out of my house and it's why.
No, we're good. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Yeah, yeah. No, I appreciate your time. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate it very much.
Have a good afternoon.
You too. Okay. Mr. Carbo wants to discuss the skate park. What you got?
Yep. Alright, so we just got it, everybody's putting the responsibility on you guys, a rec director, it's a citizen initiative that has to. Like pull this stuff off and continue pushing it forward, so somebody has to spearhead it, so.
Well, we're already working on it.
Yep.
I walked with Cliff and Willie. It was multifaceted why we walked the property. First started off with the mowing, which is actually on here, Tom Properties mowing changes. Okay, so walked up the field, there were some concerns with scalping and, length of grass. So we walked the field and we made our way around, there's fencing repairs needed over at the ball field. The field needs to be leveled off. Tom, Cliff and Willie, we're gonna handle all of that. Get the ball field after soccer season is over, get that up to speed so that we can get a good, nice level field. Fencing, Willie's going to be getting estimates of fencing company to come out. We need repairs, we need fence put up in front of the dugout, foul ball, so people aren't getting hit. Possibly over here as well, entries to the tennis courts. So we talked at length in regards to the tennis courts, and Cliff is gonna get an estimate for half of that tennis court area to be the cracks cleaned out, filled, and then seated.
Okay.
So that will be the skate park on the right half.
Okay,
The fence company's gonna look and we'll get estimates on that for them to put in another entry gate. So that we can look at doing like an MX, dirt blocks, you know, something that kids on bikes can go out and do, you know, tabletop, high bank corner, whoop section, whatever. However we can design. So that is in the works. So Willie's well aware of it. Cliff is as well, Frank and I. The election happens, definitely bring the third selectman up to speed. This isn't gonna go away. We raised and appropriated money for the skate park, but on top of that, that was a really good thing. That place was hopping. So, it is for me, it is a priority to try to get that set back up, but we're gonna have to do it right. You know, there isn't gonna be any more of this going in with, you know, a cement mix to fill cracks and things like that. We're gonna try to do it right. It's not gonna be 100%. We're not repaving it. We're gonna, you know, fill the cracks and seal it. It should be enough for skateboards, rollerblades, things of that nature. And then once we start going, you know, the rec director will look into ramps, you know, the curbs, or I don't know. I'm not a skate guy, so I don't know. But I'm sure we can get more than enough information and people that would be willing to help to get that set up. And Cliff is on board, public works wise, equipment. You know, we had a discussion on getting dirt in there, get blocks set up so it sets it, you know, half and half. And also there'll be a policy for the town that skate park is for skates. MX is for bicycles, period. You wander to either side, you're out. Because that's what caused, you know, the skate park issue is bikes were allowed to go in there. And that's not gonna happen. So, it is in works. We are doing it. We just walked, what was it, Friday? Was it Friday that we walked? Did the walk or Thursday? Thursday. So, it is being addressed and we're working towards a goal of having something for next year.
I'd just like to get a committee going or something, like in the beginning when all this started. It was I who was documented and recorded in meeting minutes as the person to be responsible for the skate park. So I just want to get back on board and be the citizen that's pushing and spearheading this citizens initiative. And to be allowed to once again communicate with Willie. Because Dick Norcross had Willie delete me from the Facebook page. And I'd like to get that cleared up so that I'm no longer strict to my right to communicate with the community, because there's a lot of people that are on board. And they talk to me about it, but a lot of people don't want to get involved because it's still all wishy-washy. We have a lot of people that have the resources and materials and the know-how and to be able to get this project together. But nobody's welcome to get on board. It feels welcome.
And I'm gonna ask this question. How are they feeling not welcome?
Well, just because like,
Honestly,
because of all, like even now, this has been years, everybody's telling us, wait till tomorrow, wait till tomorrow. The person that you guys had in charge after me that came in to take charge from me for this project came in and didn't communicate whatsoever with anybody in the community, so nobody knew anything. They came in to talk to you guys once, and then that was it. I've been in here all the time for years, still communicating with not just you guys, with everybody in our community, including a bunch of our elected officials with our state that are on this project with the permaculture project as well. And that's what this started as, a permaculture skate park project, to be all inclusive, to have everybody on board.
Okay, I wanna make something perfectly clear. This is a town entity.
Yeah,
It is town property, it is gonna be town run, town maintained,
yeah,
okay? So there, people wanna volunteer, I have no problem with that. Currently, I don't see putting a committee together because winter's coming. And as soon as we still have to get an estimate on the crack filling and the seal coat of it first. Cliff said that he would reach out and find out about blocks, to separate that in half. We still need to get estimates on fencing, getting the gates put in. So there's a lot of things that we have to do as the town before anything becomes of that area.
I understand that, but see, that's a issue, age-old issue. There's no reason that we can't get a group of people. It doesn't have to be a set up committee. There don't have to be policies and procedures. It'd be nice for you guys to outreach to all of us, like myself, to get us on board. Like, I'm kept out of loop altogether when I've done stuff time and time again. Like I said, you remember when I talked to you back in the day about starting a community outreach committee? Told me how many people do I need? You told me that many. You remember that though? Willie was there. We could talk about all of this type of stuff. Willie and I are hogtied because the board aren't having any transparency or accountability of the accusations the former board, which you were on, made against. Remember, I was.
Okay, all right, let's.
I'm trying to forget all about all this.
Willie, Vinny, let's stay on point, please, okay? This is, and I'm on board with it. Vinny, I'm on board with it. We are working.
On board.
At any time, did I just say at any time today that you were not welcome to do anything? When did I say that? I did not say that, Vinny.
With this, you said you talked to Willie.
Vinny, I did a property walk because of a mowing issue out on the field, and it turned into we walked the entire property. So this is what I want you to understand. This is what I want you to understand. And
This should have been cleared up, okay?
okay,
I know you're. What happened in the past with you and I, former board,
I have no problems, Vinny. I have no problems working with you. But what you're trying to tell me, yeah, you can work with Willie. I never said that you couldn't volunteer to do anything. He's sitting right there, Vinny. He just did, Vinny.
former chief selectman, Dick Norcross.
I'm not going to answer for him.
He told him to delete me from the page. You're the chief selectman. You can, you're not saying it. Can you say it?
Vinny,
Undelete.
you
the page.
can communicate. You can communicate. Vinny,
You could.
Vinny,
My post. He's not allowed. to
listen,
do this.
listen to me.
I'm telling
I
you.
want you to listen to me, Vinny.
I've listened
Okay.
for years.
I want you to
With the
listen to
board,
me. I want you to listen. I want you to
And
listen to
say
me
that you
right
were
now. Vinny, I want you to listen to me right
And
now.
I'm not suing
Okay.
you.
He is an employee of the town. He will take his direction. He will take his direction from the Board of Selectmen. Okay, so turning around and telling him what he's going to do is not gonna
I'm
fly.
asking you
I
to
just,
tell him. That's
Vinny,
okay.
all right, Vinny, I want you to be quiet for 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute. That's all I'm asking for. I'm asking you politely. Be quiet for 1 minute. And I will provide you. Then. Thank you. Have no problems working with you. You may communicate with the rec director. If you want to be involved with the skate park, great. Let's hear the ideas, work it out with Willie. When we get to a point as a town that we are doing forward steps on getting the preparation and the things done for that specific spot, If we need a committee, no problem. We will form a committee. I got no qualms with it.
We have to have one because this can't be a dictated budget. Which
Who's dictating? Who's dictating?
You by not allowing other people to get involved ahead of time.
Ahead of time of
Before you
what?
guys start making.
Ahead of time of what?
You're trying to acquire all these other resources.
What other resources? What
Everything
resources?
you stated.
So you have somebody in your pocket that's gonna come out and they're gonna give us an estimate on cleaning out all the cracks, filling them, and putting and sealing that half of the tennis
We've
courts.
already established this in the past. You said you'll get it cleared. I said this in the past. For you to get those cracks all established and taken care of so that there's no safety concerns. This was in the
Okay.
selectmen's meeting.
Yep.
You might have forgotten, no hard feelings. This is why we need a committee. You guys forget stuff. We don't see you guys only till every 2 months. If we're lucky, we get to talk to you on Tuesday. We don't see it
Lucky?
every week or any other time.
No, every
We need a
Tuesday.
committee to talk about this.
Well, it's not at the point of needing a committee right now, Vinny. Because we have to come up, we have to make, I get the point.
Stairhead, study. Now.
When is- Willie, when did this all go away? No, I'm gonna disagree with you. I was gone for a year. I'm not kicking anything down the internet. Everything that is brought up is being dealt with on the spot.
When I've been since you were.
Vinny, you know what happened 2 years ago, 3 years ago? It doesn't.
You're the one that wants to wait for the lawyer to talk
No.
about this.
Vinny, what I don't understand is you're on the agenda. You want to discuss the skate park. And because I'm not saying that I'm going to form a committee immediately, you don't like it.
It's not immediately, like I told you, you said I need one person to form a committee years ago. This
Okay,
isn't nothing new. I'm still waiting patiently, and I've shut up for years.
all right. You know,
Yeah, you don't want to.
I don't know what else to tell you. I will say this. This is town property. It is gonna be,
This is nothing.
oh, let me finish, please. Let me finish.
I went to court when you finished.
Let me finish.
Oh my God, well, I'm gonna deal with her. She's the one that started all
Well,
this stuff.
Vinny, you're getting to the point where I'm gonna ask you to
The
leave.
lawyers.
I'm going to ask you to leave, Vinny. Vinny, okay, we're done. Vinny, we're done. Vinny, this is gonna end. This is going to end, okay?
What's going to?
If you continue to interrupt this meeting and continue, guess what? Just because you're on the agenda, this is a selectmen's meeting. Oh, I understand the law very, very much. Oh, obviously I do. Oh, okay. Okay, I don't care what the initiative is. I don't. The initiative means nothing. I don't want to shut you up, Vinny, but you put me in a choice, in a position where I have to.
You're not seeing my.
No, I did see your point. And I just said that we would do committee. I'm trying to give you what you're asking for, but you want to keep going back to something. No, I'm not. Vinny, I want to do this. I want to do this.
I'll have it done. That's the
Okay.
thing. You guys have other things on your plate. I'm not being mean or funny, guys.
Okay.
I have the time and energy to address this situation. I've spoken with Willie in Deptford. That's why I put this topic on the agenda.
Yeah.
I already spoke with Willie about all this stuff. What you're not understanding is this has to be a citizen initiative. We have to all get on the same page. You can't dictate this.
There's no
We have
dictation
other
going.
people. You're not allowing us to. That's what I'm saying. I'm
Vinny,
trying to get this.
I've allowed you to talk. I've allowed you to say,
I brought this years ago about this project and all the issues. I raised the funds for the issues out there, cracks and everything. You remember this stuff? I acquired the ramps that were in there that have been taken. And I'm still sitting here being the bad guy, not involved.
no, I'm not saying that you're being a bad guy, but don't put words in my mouth. Okay, I'm going to tell you that first and foremost.
Shut me up.
No, Vinny, what I'm saying to you is one, you're not going to put words in my mouth. Vinny! Go! You're out. Will, you are out. You are disrupting the meeting. You're wrong. You're good. You need to leave or I'm calling off the count.
Are you guys okay with this too, Frank? You want me out of here too? Is it so quick?
You're not listening to him at all.
Nobody's listening to me, Frank.
You're trying to tell us what to do, that's what's wrong.
I'm trying to tell you guys are shutting me up. You guys still didn't tell Willie that it's okay to undelete me from the page, it's pleading the fifth.
You just did it.
Did he tell you to undelete me from the page, Willie?
Told me I can't even talk to him.
You're an employee, you can't even talk. That's not right.
So that ain't what you got to work, that's what I asked.
He's calling 911. Is this 911? This is outrageous.
This is Rick Allen here on the board there in Brownfield.
So ready
The taxpayer, please exit the building and move on.
Let him know I'm a topic on the agenda still for a year. This is the guy right here. We'll have to recall this guy. Definitely. I'm going to.
Oh, my very friend.
And you're gonna be fired too.
You do the job, I don't care.
It's gonna be 007.
Don't care.
He's exiting the building.
You joking him outside the car.
Oh, yeah, it's Vincent Cardone. He's starting all over. Any of the deputies now.
Joe took him outside.
Any of them, all.
Yes. After you talk to him outside.
Rick and.
Jesus. You always wait ready and wear home. Time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will apologize for my. Yeah, perfect word outburst, yes, 100%. My apologies is unprofessional of me. It must be the medication, so. Let's leave it at that. Oh, I did it earlier, that was a good one. Willie, you have coaching to do? Okay, so I'll just put it out there with Frank's permission. We're not gonna entertain this. If you agree with that, fine.
You can't reason with.
I don't understand the, 2 years ago thing and. I don't have a problem doing a committee. Folks, I want you to understand that we can put a committee together. We just need to get our ducks in line before we do a committee. To get that, because one, it's expenditure of funds that we have to account for. And in order to prep that is gonna take those funds. So we kind of need to know what we're gonna have to work with after getting the fencing quote and the seal coating and all that together. It's gonna be, it's gonna be thousands of dollars. So I'd rather get our ducks in a row and know what we're looking at and then establish a committee to move forward and make this a positive thing. Regardless of, as he's saying, the citizens initiative, I don't see any money coming or being offered with that citizens initiative. Not only that, but, this is town-owned property. It's taxpayer funded. Every bit of it. So, we kind of need to ask a little permission. We can't just arbitrarily do it, but if we have some numbers, I'm sure the taxpayers would be more than generous to say yes. It's giving something to the community and the youth for them to do something instead of busting windows and not having anything to do. So, again, my apologies. I shouldn't have reacted like that. So, Willie, yes, go ahead.
The gentleman that just left, he's out there planting trees, which is fine with me, but. He's planting them up there next to this town office, something just.
Oh, that's what is it, a pear tree over here in the corner by the leach bed? The leach field?
He needs to, please ask me or. Or Selectmen if he's gonna dig a tree or dig any.
No, I asked him about the one, give me an idea of how much area But he's allowed to have it. Oh, it's all been taken care of. That's the only answer.
So if we honestly,
Sure, Frank. The only three people that know where that leach bed is me, Bob, and Mike Bain. The actual where it's at,
right,
because we built it. There's a roots. There was
Yeah.
pipes, it was plugged up,
right,
we had issues with the pump,
okay.
and I just hope that he knows that he has to ask before he gets big.
When, and Bill, you were on the board, we walked out back there and this is Vinny, this is where you can do your food forest, whatever it was. Right, and that seems to have changed exponentially to where he's actually doing the things. It wasn't directly behind this building, it was more that way towards the community center with a lot more open ground, and it had nothing to do with any of the rock lining that we have, the big rocks out here. It was that side over there. We physically walked that with him years ago. So why everything seems to be migrating this way is not the direction that we initially had given. Now, I can't answer, you know, if there were conversations with other board members, if that changed, I don't know. So, and they're not here to ask. So we really can't provide that.
And do left, I can pretty honestly say it hasn't changed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, boy, it gives me a headache.
The other issue I had is, after he does his fires, he can't, whatever he does, so. Public Works responsible for cleaning that mess up when he's done on the weekends.
Okay, I was just made aware that he had a fire out here. I called the chief stated that he spoke to, Vinny within the accompaniment of the rec director and said, hey, you have to get permission from the select board. He stated that it was already taken care of. I can assure everyone here and everybody that watches this, I have never spoken to Vinny or given any permissions whatsoever for anyone to have a fire on town property. I do not agree with it. I don't want it to happen. There is too much that could go wrong, and it's going to be on everybody's bill, not one person's. You want to do that at your house? Have at it. Something happens, it's your problem, not the entire town's. So it would be my position that there will not be any fires on town property at all. It is not allowed. So you got to go coaching.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, that to me.
Yes, let me know if things start to go awry again.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we currently have two pending lawsuits for the town. One is ADA related, it's Americans with Disabilities Act. And we have a contract here to have an independent contractor come out. It's Allied Universal Enhanced Protection Services proposal for ADA assessments. What they'll be doing is coming here and conducting an ADA compliance inspection on this building and the community center, which is highly, we have to do this. We're in a position where it's time. We need to start making things happen. So assessment fee, 2 sites with travel expenses estimated with the assessment fees is going to be $3,400. This is the service term is 8/29/24 and shall continue through 10/31/24 unless either party provides written notice to the other of its intent not to renew the services prior to 10/31. Scope of services, provide 2 separate ADA assessments at client designated city facilities. Excuse me, utilizing the 2010 ADA standards for accessible design. Assessments will be scheduled with the client and completed during the agreed upon time frame. Provide a final report of findings within 5 business days of the completed assessments. Assist client as requested with identifying contractors to complete any needed work identified in the final report. So I will make a motion to accept this scope of services and the $3,400. Where would we take that from?
I guess capital improvements or,
Building capital improvement.
yeah,
So the motion will be to accept and hire, sign the contract for Allied Universal to complete the scope of work required at price of $3,400 to be taken from the building capital improvement account. Second, all in favor? Thank you. All right. It's Lynn Town and then
townland@fairpoint.net.
so you know you will be the folk billing contacts.
Okay.
This contact.
Okay,
There was a second signature request. All right, so. That is signed, send that out. When you send that out, please copy, Mike Maine. Leah Rachin. Yes, we those two along with us. So that way we all have it, we know that the forward numbers.
sure.
Thank you. On the agenda, it states, discussion on town properties mowing changes. We're not gonna do any changes. Yes,
You didn't vote on it. You made a motion, but.
yes, he did. He seconded
I
it.
didn't see it. That's
Yeah,
why.
no, he seconded. It.
Okay.
It's just as simple as saying seconded.
Okay.
He seconded it and I called vote. Yep. There are no mowing changes. Talking with Cliff, the field out there. There are scalp spots, but then there are spots that are, the grass is like 3-4 inches tall. There are low spots in there. So, that's one of those things. We need to level off the field, fill the low spots in, and then after the soccer season, we're gonna do that so that we can get a good level field. So that when the mow contract or anyone that mows it, we're not getting the scalp sections and, I'm sure playing soccer or anything else, with low spots is gonna trip them up, So, that would be the very near future. Okay, Mike Van CEO is not here. On the agenda is discussion on a request to refund building permit. We have a gentleman that had pulled a building permit. And less than 30 days later had come back requesting a refund because they're not going to do the building. So I've never run into that, nor had Mike. Nobody that I know of. So Mike was gonna ask neighboring towns how they handle that kind of thing, if it's oh, sorry, you lose it, or if it's a, tax credit instead of cutting them a check or what. But Mike isn't here to speak to that, so I don't know what to do with it. I don't wanna not give him back his money. He's not gonna do the project, and it was timely enough that it was within, a 30-day period. that he came in and requested, hey, we're not gonna do this. So, I guess we'll add that to next week with the, department heads. He should be here for that.
Yeah. He hasn't spent any time doing any inspection because it's not there, so.
Yeah, the guy came in, filled out the, permit request, brought it in, paid. And then came back and said, we're not gonna do the project, you know. So the only time Mike has is in the application review and approval. So, but I would like Mike to kind of visit, yeah, have him say something. So. Okay. Have that. Vinny, I'll apologize to you as unprofessional of me to snap like that, so.
It means a lot.
I will,
I appreciate that. Thank you.
we're gonna have to work on some communication, I'll tell you that.
Getting there, son, I don't wanna be in policies and procedures, you know? I'm not the only human that would be in this predicament here, you know what I mean, Rick? Just trying. What am I supposed to do? I don't see any other people stepping up willing to take the bullet for these projects, you know? I'll be the fall guy, let's get it done, I wanna get other people on the same page and just, I don't have to talk to you guys, I can talk to my peers, you know, the people, the members of the community and other people who are on board to support this project. I don't want it to be me, we'll end up having somebody else pitch all the pitches, you know, and just get this project done. It's a tiny thing. There's tons of other projects that we need something tiny and simple. It's something we could do ourselves, you know, that's why so I'd like you to give us a shot to pitch something to you guys. You guys got enough on your plate, let us make this what it is. It's a citizens initiative. Let us garner the support, advocacy, and outreach for it, you know. I appreciate it. Sorry, thank you for, that means more than you could imagine to me. I mean, thank you.
Yep.
Just for, I apologize too. I'm trying to learn. I honestly, genuinely feel like I'm trying my best. I don't know what I'm doing wrong or where I'm going wrong. I'm under the assumption that I know the law and the policies and procedures of how I'm supposed to go about this. But I also understand that I'm a different type of character in this town where you guys, me saying anything about my past or anything could trigger you guys to feel a certain way, you know. I don't want to, I'm not trying to upset you guys. I already spoke with all you guys. I'm sure we appreciate it.
All right, we, out of the correspondence folder, we've covered the AD assessment proposal. What are yours on the US Cellular payoff, and are we going to do stipend and save money, or are we gonna?
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, so in here, Nick Plord. It'd be $697.20 to pay off. There's no contract. Price for the remainder, fire chief, 2,900, hotspot, 49.32. Will be around 162.44 plus tax a month. So. Overall, what would we be saving if we went back to the stipend or paying the cell phone bills for the 1, 2, 3, 4 phones that are currently here? Vice, was that the 4,500?
That was the budget, 4,500 for the cell phones.
Right.
That we had,
So the 5,400, that was
the actual. cost.
was the actual cost.
Mhm.
Does that include the fire chief and hotspot?
Mhm.
Right, so that's it.
Yeah. Mhm.
So,
He has to have those, doesn't he? We have,
Yes,
well, I'm not worried about, his need. It's gonna have what it needs. I don't have a problem with it. I just wanna make sure that we're gonna wind up saving some money,
Mhm.
you know.
May I say something? You're not paying stipends and people aren't using their phones, so. Why?
The
couldn't
people
you
are
have-
using,
But
Well-
not the ones that the town bought and issued for them.
correct, correct. So, in the stipends. We weren't spending $5,400 a year, is what, 2,800 bucks? Right around there,
Yes, yeah,
that we were paying. Stipend. So that's half of what we're spending now.
Mhm.
And the phone usage, you have what was supposed to be Cliff's. Lynn's using the one that the ACO had. The CEO has one and is one issued to the rector. So, you know, are we going to save by paying the stipend twice keeping these phones?
it depends what the stipend is.
Right, and I wanna say it was, what, 65 bucks a month?
6417, I think it was.
Yeah, and the same, what was yours?
50.
You know what I mean? So we're at 100, just rounded 120 bucks right there for two. So 10's 1,200. You know what I mean? So just with two phones, from 5,400. I mean, we were paying, I wanna say it was like 26 or 2,800 bucks.
That's what we had paid in the past, but,
Right,
how much are we paying for each phone right now? Like,
174.30
With each phone.
that,
for
that's,
each phone.
that's because,
Holy,
that's because the phones, we're still paying for the phones. But once we take that out,
Yeah, that I don't. So,
Mm.
I paid my whole bill with that. That's another
Well,
phone.
like you said, buying phones, that's one reason why it's.
I'm buying my phone too, but I'm paying for 3 other phones on my plan. That's why I said, it's 174 for
Yeah.
3 phones. And I'm buying two, well, they're buying, they're paying me back.
so. Is that what we're paying monthly per phone for the program
yes,
without the phone? Because it's
yes. per-
174.30. So that we're paying 76.50 per line.
It's 35, I know it's $35 for the per line, and then it's $15 for the insurance. And then is the tax and the service charge and, yeah, per line, so, yeah, that must be it. That
Yeah,
must be
so
right there.
we're paying double what we were paying,
Mm-hmm,
so. No, I didn't think so. So I will ask. Before we make a decision. Where we have. You have a phone,
I don't use that phone,
She turned it in,
yeah,
you have a phone,
I did,
okay,
I don't need a phone if you are one of the selectmen and I'm willing to be on call 24/7.
we are anyway.
Absolutely, that's why I say I don't need it.
Um. Mike is really the only one that we would have to ask.
And I don't think he really wanted it either, but
Well, I don't wanna make the decision and,
mhm,
you know, so. Next week is. Department heads, please put that on the agenda.
absolutely.
682 Spring Street was handled, as far as I know. Okay, with the complaint form from last week, dated 8/27, has been taken care of. With the town clerk. That has been handled. Closed out. Okay. Budget committee meeting that is open to the public will be September 10th at 6:30 right here. And the public safety building meeting, committee meeting will be September 11th at 6:30 here. So next Tuesday will be our first budget committee, and then Wednesday. Now, you're still good with that date, chief?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember you said in the meeting, you had,
Thursdays, I think it's, the 12th is when they have a meeting, I'm not the chief association.
Right.
It's like every other Thursday or every other month.
okay.
Narrow it down.
Brownfield Comp Plan Implementation Committee, August 2024 updates been posted to the website. So if anybody's interested, they could do that or come in and get a copy. And the Public Safety Building Committee meeting minutes has also been posted to the website. If anybody needs a paper copy, they can come in and get one. So that. All right, I want to address the public and it matters that are happening right now. There seems to be a lot of misinformation out there in regards to the selectmen's duties, what we are responsible for, how things are happening and have transpired here at the town office in accordance, with the town clerk and the absence that has been there. And I want to dispel any misinformation that is out there. There's some pretty rough comments out there in regards to why the town clerk isn't here. Okay. One of them that has come up, and I probably should have addressed it earlier. So I didn't. I did make the motion. We voted. One of the things that was brought up was that there was a per diem position that this Board of Selectmen did away with. Well, no, there was not. There was no per diem position created in this town that was funded. It was not on an article. It wasn't in the warrant. It wasn't in the admin article at the warrant. There was in that admin article, there was a line creating a new full-time position. Nowhere in there is there a per diem position. We have to have money to pay a position. That was a created position. The only way that we as a select board can have a per diem position is if there is an immediate need to fill an employee's position. Now there's a key difference right there. An employee is appointed and hired by the town. An elected official is elected. We do not have the purview to fill an elected person's position. We cannot do that. We do not have that authority. That is an elected position. Okay. So the town clerk put out there with a sign and on social media that there was coverage. And then she put out, oh no, we have no coverage. Well, you're right. We didn't have coverage because the proper steps weren't taken to establish that coverage. Period. There was no legality in it whatsoever. None. So there was no coverage at all. We can't just arbitrarily pay somebody to be here. There has to be something established. We have to have your permission, the taxpayers, to pay somebody. That was never established. So I want to dispel this right now. the coverage that was there was legally ended because it was not legally entered into. It is our job to mitigate the legal liabilities of the town, first and foremost, so that you as the taxpayers aren't paying exponentially with your tax dollars for legal issues. Simple as that. That's what I take as very to my heart. I'm trying to look out for every taxpayer's dollar out here in the legal aspect. And if we don't, and something happens, now we're in a lawsuit. How happy are the taxpayers going to be if we have to hold a special town meeting and raise and appropriate $100,000 for a payout? How impressed are you going to be as taxpayers to reciprocate that? Oh yeah, don't worry about it. You know, yeah, things happen. Oh, people are going to be mad. So the people at this table take it very seriously to mitigate legal liability for the town. The proper steps were not followed for that. So they went away. That's that. I want to make perfectly clear. I did 8 years prior on the board. I was not here for a year and I came back. And one of the comments that really kind of got to me was, I am the common denominator in what the taxpayers are, or not all the taxpayers, that individuals are saying is wrong in the town. Okay. So I just want to put that out there. Okay. Employees that were separated from the town, they were separated legally and for a reason. Okay. Now, in the first case, we can't talk about it because it is employee confidential record. But I guarantee everyone out there was reason. The second one, well, everybody knows it was a suit. We had to act accordingly. There was a public hearing that anybody could have attended to hear what was stated, the reasons, and the ultimate determination. Okay. Any taxpayer could have been here. It was a public hearing. The doors were open and it was advertised. The latest one. There was a public workshop. And I'm kind of surprised to see Vinny Lanavera was in attendance. He sat right there. Okay. We sat down with the employee and we went over a document, made all appropriate changes, made sure we were 100% in sync. Asked questions, answered questions, the whole 9 yards. Everybody was in agreement when we left that workshop. That was on a Monday. On a Tuesday, we came in here in session with a signed document that they signed and they agreed with. And now we're the bad guys because they didn't follow it. Asked for a meeting. Nope. Denied. Finally asked for another one. Well, this is all I'm going to do. Well, that doesn't fit the job description that we spent the time on publicly to change for that position with a pay raise. And it wasn't, didn't hold any credence.
Quick question. Who asked for the meeting? You guys asked for the meeting?
100%.
Or the employee?
I did. I asked for it.
Who asked?
I asked for the meeting. 100%. Let's communicate. Let's get things, hashed out. The olive branch was extended from this table. And they didn't pick it up. But yet, the keyboard warriors were the bad guys. Yep. Keep typing, folks. If there's anything you want to know, come ask me. I will, if I can legally tell you, I will tell you. I have nothing to hide here. This is business. It's your money. It's my money too. Ask me, ask the question. It's always easier to pass judgment from the cheap seats than it is to find out the full story and make a decision on your own. So I really want to put it out to the taxpayers. You know, there's a lot of time that goes into doing this, a lot. And just as a courtesy, afford us the opportunity to give you an explanation to your face. Send me an email. I'll answer it. I got nothing to hide. Everything we do here, unless it is under executive session or attorney-client privilege, is public. I got nothing to hide. You want to see a document? Come look at it. You want to ask me a question? I'll answer it. If I can legally answer it, I will. I have no problems with that at all. You know, the statements of it's the selectman's fault that there's no coverage in that office. I beg to differ. Right here, folks, I have 5 copies. Article 6 and 7 was put in the warrant, was amended. The amendment passed, then the article passed. With quite a difference in vote. It wasn't carried out. The election process did not happen. That was supposed to happen. So a group of citizens spent their own money. Their own money. Here's the letter that was sent to the town by a municipal attorney, a very well, he has a very good reputation. There's copies if you'd like to read it. This was given, right? Article 6 and 7 was not followed by the vote. The decision was made, and I can't answer to any taxpayer why that decision was made. I was not here. But I can guarantee you this. Anything that the taxpayers vote on, as long as legally we can, it's within scope and it will be followed. And I will tell anybody that 100%. But I cannot answer for why this did not. It was remained elected. I didn't have anything to do with it. I've spoke to the town's attorney about it. There's your proof, folks. It's not the select board that this current select board did not do this. This is a shit sandwich that we have to take a bite out of and swallow because the taxpayers are angry that there isn't somebody in that office. Well, that office reports to the state and you, the taxpayers, not the board of selectmen. The only way we can address that is we have to ask, can you do this? Can you? And they're elected officials. They have a pretty broad stroke of authority. Okay. They answer to the state statutes and to the taxpayers. So all this blame that is getting put onto this current select board, it is not. If anybody wants a copy of that letter, it is here. There's 5 copies on the desk. If we need to make 100 more, we'll do it. That addressed by statute why Article 6 and 7 should have been enforced and the election process done. But it didn't happen. I didn't make those decisions. So you need to hold the people accountable that did make that decision. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. I am doing everything I can, folks, to make sure that we have something. I approached the treasurer and said, hey, can you spare the training time with the full-time employee so that they can get trained next door? Yes. We had the selectman's assistant. Can you open this? Can you provide some coverage at that window? Yes. So everybody out there that's saying that the select board has done nothing for this problem, Bullshit. We did. We did what we could do legally. I cannot just send somebody into that office. It doesn't work that way, folks. There's bonding that has to happen. We have to bond those because they deal with cash. They have to be insured. They have to be properly trained. Well, this is a niche job. Only so many people know how to do it. Please be patient. We're trying to get somebody spooled up in that position so that we have the coverage. That new full-time position didn't come into effect until July 1st of this year, when it was voted in June. And then we had to go through the hiring process. There was 8 applicants and 7 were interviewed. And I feel 100% confident in the choice that was made to fill that full-time position. 100%. So all this anger and pointing the fingers and the select board is doing everything behind closed doors and we're doing secret meetings. No. Anything that happens, I got 0 problems talking about it right here in public view. If anybody wants to reach out to me, they got my phone number, my email, they know where I am. I'm always around. Come ask me. Get put on the agenda. About anything. I don't care what it is. Let's have the discussion. There is nothing to hide. I have nothing to hide. So I want to make sure everybody is very aware. Any issues, please bring it here. And and there is an education process to this because there are things that we just can't do. When it comes to elected officials, I guarantee you it is a very broad stroke on their authority. They do not have paid vacation time. They do not have paid time off. Because guess what? They can take it at any time. It's their purview when they take vacation. Because guess what? They can come and go as they please. They just have to follow Maine statute, make sure that their reporting is done accordingly, and that they're taking care of the taxpayers. Well, at what level that they're taking care of the taxpayers, I don't know. I didn't make that decision to keep those positions elected. Period. So, folks, please, if you got a problem, bring it to us. Really. But don't point the finger that I've done something wrong that I wasn't here for. I was not elected. I was not sitting in this chair. I didn't have a vote. My vote is just like yours, one at a time. So please, I implore everybody, please bring it to us. We will do whatever we can. You had a question?
So, my name was brought up 2 weeks ago or so about 33 Brick Street. I was wondering if
33 Spring Street.
percent cease and desist that I got sent, but I never got sent cease and desist.
No, there's a miscommunication. The gentleman that came in here that was part of the Warren family stated to the select board that was recorded that everything needed to cease and desist until there was a legal entity that could make the determination. There was no, he stated that. The
I
person.
heard that 2 weeks ago. That's why I
No.
just wanted to.
No,
That
the-
I got
no,
sent.
the gentleman that was with the Warren family heir stated to the select board that they needed to cease and desist anything that was happening with that property until the legal stuff could be figured out. There was nobody issued a cease and desist. That was that representative of the heir that stated that the town needed to cease and desist anything that was going on with
I
that
appreciate
until the
it.
legal ramifications were taken care of. Yes. And no, I was not present. Actually, yeah, no, I was.
That's what I was.
Yes.
That's why,
There's no cease and desist.
and I heard my name come up. Like,
Yeah. Yes.
First of all, I want to say I'm glad I'm not on Facebook. This is why. But I want to thank both you and Frank because I feel it's been refreshing since you both started here working together. I think the transparency is above and beyond what I've seen for a long time. I, for one, appreciate it, and I've heard that from other people as well. So I don't know if you've heard it, but I want to communicate that to you, because I've heard it from a lot of people now, that they get a different sense of what's happening here, so thank you for that.
Been my experience, we don't hear the good news.
Okay, then this is for you to hear, it's good news,
Well, I appreciate that, and we try very hard to make sure everything is out in public. There's nothing to hide here.
right?
It's y'all's money.
So I have two questions. The new position, I know she's just started. Do you have a sense of the timeline of when she will be ready to be bonded and step in as necessary to cover the clerk's work? I'm not sure how all that works, but it seems like it is a necessity since there seem to be a lot of days where there's no one there for coverage. What are your thoughts about what that timeline could possibly be?
Well, as far as the bond, I don't know if you bond her yet or not.
No, she would be covered under my bond.
Okay, so, because she's the deputy.
Yeah,
So bond is taken care of. She has done training with Heather when Heather has been here. Alvina had showed her a few things. Lynn has helped her, with a few things. That I wouldn't be able to put a timeline on when she could actually open that office and run it.
I think I, as a taxpayer, thought that position would help with this situation with providing coverage. So maybe that's what is some of the issue that people have, like what happened with that position and why is there still not coverage? But
It's limited coverage right now. It is limited coverage. I can't answer for the town clerk. She has to answer it herself. She's an elected official, that's her authority. We can only do what we can do by asking this other elected official, hey, that employee and the other employee, please, try to do something, but people are gonna have to accept that new full-time position has got to have a training, and not only on the town clerk side, but the money side too.
right.
And that's the key. We got no money, we got no jobs. So let's handle the money first, make sure that is good to go, and then we can work the other side. Because without the money, we got nothing.
So for that position of town clerk, there's no expectation as far as the hours that we put in and the job responsibilities. Isn't there anything as far as, what's written out, what the expectations are, and as taxpayers, can we ask for that?
Yes, you can. But you're gonna have to ask the town clerk for that.
Okay.
One of the things that, Maine statute is the guide. There are, just like with the treasurer, she has guidelines for reporting and doing her job. I don't know what those are. And Bill's been in as a selectman. So you read and went through your elected officials manual. Pretty vague, isn't it? It's pretty broad. There's a lot of things, there's not
Purposely
a,
intended to be a.
right. There's not a teetotal like job description that we're handed. Hey, you have to do this. This is what we expect of you. So if somebody's looking for an absolute teetotal job description, good luck.
And I know the original intent of Article 6 and 7 was to change the situation so that those two positions would be people who were hired and accountable to the select board and to someone. And since that didn't happen, what can be done to correct that now? Does that have to be introduced as a new article in next year's town meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
We know the taxpayers voted for, there were two votes, okay? There was the town meeting articles, and then there was the referendum in November. The legal standpoint, the amendment could be challenged. It was not. The moderator let it pass. So therefore, it should have carried. the ballot was cast. Defeated, which would have reverted back to the town vote. It was advised that if the challenge was to be made, that if it went to a court, to a judge, the judge, first thing they're gonna ask is, can this go on the ballot? You do it every year, right? Yeah, sure do. Well, why don't you just put it back on the ballot? Because that's how it's supposed to happen. Okay. And I trust where the information came from, very much. So, yes. It was explained to the taxpayers, yeah, we know this has been voted on twice, but this is how it needs to be. So it would be my purview to put it on the warrant. Now, as far as the elected officials that are currently went through the election process and are on a 3-year term, I do not know if that article has to be written to, it can take effect July 1, 2025, or if we have to wait until the end of that elected. I don't have the answer to that. We'll get the answer. I mean, we've got, what, 7, 8 months before warrant. So, right now it is what it is, but it would be my purview. But keep in mind that the warrant, it's the selectmen's warrant and it's majority vote. So if 2 to 1, keep in mind, it may not. I can't guarantee you that it's going to be in the one. I hope it is, but again, it's majority vote. Thanks. Anybody got anything from the audience? No questions, no? Okay. When?
I just needed, I just wanted an update on the audit. The auditors will be meeting with me. They're picking a few dates for me and they're gonna come in. And we're going to complete all the audits. We're gonna stay here until they're finished. They said it'd probably take a couple of days.
To bring the
And-
cheap bags.
And they're gonna have staff remotely, and they're gonna have staff physically here, and they're gonna take care of it, so. And that's what you were saying.
And that's all the audits will be up to date on all the audits.
I believe so. I believe that because we signed for a 24, the
So,
contract for 24 as well, so. They had a problem with Trio with 22 has been fixed. So now they're moving forward and they're willing to stay here and get everything up to snuff. So we are in a good situation, so. So then we can move on. Yes.
This will be 23. So 22.7. So, okay. I will make a motion that we accept these, all these numbers, folks. It's 11,000 for the 22-23 audit and 11,700 for the 23-24 audit. When we got the email from RHR, there's going to be additional monies that were, and I stated that the monies for the additional help to straighten and reconcile the books. I don't recall what those numbers were off the top of my head there. So, but I will make a motion that we accept these contract prices. And pay accordingly.
Second.
Okay. Two. Okay, one. Which one do I do? Management signature? That's.
I think the governance, look at the, one, is there over there, there's the one that Dick signed on. I don't know if I brought that copy out, so it's already signed. I'll look at
So
it,
that's.
they have it in my office, so I'll look at it and see which one, and we can go by with.
Okay, so I'll sign these as soon as you have.
Okay.
Yeah. I just don't want to sign it online,
Right,
because then they're also gonna tax back, so we'll keep it easy.
and I had one more thing, about the medicine cabinets. Cliff spoke with Kimball in the Midwest and brought this huge book in. He found a medicine cabinet that would work for the departments. And he got a price on them, and I wanted to let Bill in on it too. As the safety officer. It was, the middle-sized box. You wanna talk about this, Cliff, or this is the middle-sized box that you said that was the best fit for both departments. And the price on them was $318.43. And with this company, it allows us to fill stuff when we need it. Instead of. And so, yeah, so we can keep an eye on if anything expires or whatever, or she'll do that too, you said, right?
In that box,
Mhm.
nothing expires. That's the reason I got that.
Oh, okay.
That would be our gig if we had something expire,
Mm-hmm,
which she says. We end up using 20 Band-Aids, she's not gonna replace 20 Band-Aids, because we got 30 left,
right.
but we're happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
Who is she?
She's Rochelle. She's a
She's-
sales representative for King Midwest. If I say her name right, it products.
Telephone book.
So what you're saying is. You get these boxes and then you go and call them when you need stuff in place.
It's a box that is OSHA, MMA, it's approved box. It's not just something you buy at Walmart.
Yeah, you don't have someone coming in every month.
No.
Oh, we need one of these.
Once we get the box, that's price, and then that's it. The reason I got it was the biggest issue with medicine being expired.
Right.
If the inspector comes in and sees this and that, that's a gate. You get the price. This box doesn't have none of that. Okay, so if you get a headache, you go buy an international, we can buy.
Right, basically it just had been. Okay.
Okay.
So we own these boxes, so
If we purchase them in, we won't.
And we're paying what, 173 something?
We were paying over $100 every month for the other boxes, and they were coming and filling like souprettes and charging us, it was a lot of money. They were charging us for dusting the box off, and yeah. So this is the box, the medium-sized box that Cliff had said. And it has,
So that's not this one. That number should have.
oh, that one is that, one, okay. It was $318.43.
Yeah.
Oh, so it was one up since the small, okay, that's the small one, so that's.
Okay.
the one, yeah.
So 318.43, so that would be times.
Comes full, but that's $318.40.
We saw.
May I ask? This decision
Mm-hmm.
was already arrived at. This is the first I'm hearing about it now, as the so-called safety officer. Am I responsible for something that I know nothing about?
We're just throwing prices around right now to see if this is,
Oh, I see.
because he had found, Cliff had found something, well, he had talked to this is the distributor that fills all the nuts and bolts over at Public Works, and so she gave him a price on a business card and said to present that to see if that's something that might fit our needs. So there was no decision made, we're just throwing this around.
I just wish it every spot where one of these is gonna be placed, that the individual from that spot that have that ability to speak towards the contents. I'm speaking specifically of one place that I'm thinking of now, where we rent a kitchen. People get burned in the kitchen. What's in the kit to treat burns?
Well, that's one of the things that we had discussed earlier, Bill, is that we get these general all-purpose
Yeah.
kits and a separate burn kit that will be placed in the kitchen area for just that scenario.
Yeah.
And
It's fine by me. But what I think we should be doing is picking up the phone and calling this right here. Bring in some professionals to take care of people who are injured and sick or whatever. Those kits that we currently have now a good for a thoracic surgeon could use that stuff.
Oh.
Right,
those
that's
kits,
why
yeah.
we're downgrading.
Okay. Get rid of it. I'm glad. I thought it was overkill to begin with. But right now, someone's gonna say, well, why did you get that? I didn't want, I wanted something that you.
Well, you're welcome to grab the book, Bill, and you can look and see what we're after here, but I mean.
I'm satisfied with that. It's fine by me. It's just that I don't wanna be responsible for something I had nothing to do with.
Mm.
Simple as I can say it. Who's gonna go around and check them?
As of right now, nobody, because there's no medicine. in it. There's no cough drop, there's no aspirin, there's no Sudafed, there's no. Everything that's in there has got a shelf life.
Okay,
And when Rochelle comes over and I got a box of Band-Aids, she gives a box of Band-Aids.
okay.
But there's nothing in it that's gonna get us in trouble. There's nothing in it that you have to worry about.
It sounds good to me.
As far as the burn thing you worried about, yes, somebody gets burnt, but. we get burned through. 911,
Exactly. All the people know what to do. That's why we have Baylor.
right,
I know because we've come to my house on several occasions, and they're damn good about it.
We cooking.
Yes, I'm put.
Okay,
So 636.86 for those two kits, one for this building, one for the. What, is there a first aid kit down at the transfer station that is supplied by Cintas or?
no, it's just got one of the little ones down there.
So would one of those go down the transfer station?
I would think so, yes. Because if somebody steps out of their car,
Yeah,
you know what I mean, dropping the trash, throws out a hip, we got a sling, we can pick them up. You know, something to that effect.
You took them to exact.
So, so there'd be three right there. And that's
Yeah.
about 318.48 plus 389.48. So 955 for the three, and then we'll need a burn kit. So you could ask about that as well. Do you want to vote on that? Three of the kits, one for this building, one for the community center, one for transfer station, and then a separate burn kit
yeah.
for the kitchen specific. Because we've already got an AED right at the front. Oh, okay. Yeah, so we're good there. So.
Yeah, might as well, we're gonna go with it, might as well do it.
What kind of number you were thinking? Yeah,
so,
I got 955.34 from them.
okay, and then whatever the burn kit is, but
So
but the three kits, we don't need a kit here. That would be the Public Works, the rec department, and the transfer station.
what do we have here?
We have just a small one here,
And
Got some- got some Band-Aids and stuff in it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, I believe that when you're talking about first aid kits,
Mhm,
what's in the first aid kits, like first and sixth office,
mhm,
you actually don't have cotton torches or machinery.
right,
So I think you can get by with, you know, regular. Band-Aids.
Paper cuts.
So make sure we're covered.
So I think you would be.
Over and above the one that's going out, is there going to be something here? Are we getting one of these that Cliff is talking about, or is this something?
for here, that's what we're talking about. Do we really need one? We have one here, it's small,
Yeah,
doesn't, it just has the minimal stuff.
Band-Aids and stuff.
Band-Aids, and I don't think anyone's ever gone in it, to tell you the truth. We
Well, I
don't,
will be honest with you, I wanted to ask about how many people are rolling around all the floor in the next door, suffering from third degree.
You never know.
Something safe. Using it,
Yeah.
so
That's it. Yep.
you probably know.
No.
yeah, if there's like burn cream comes in the kit, then I don't know why we would need a whole another burn kit. Burn cream's there. Above and beyond some burn cream. You have to call, you know what I mean?
Put it where it's needed.
Yeah.
We know what they're gonna do.
Great.
Okay, so we got 955.34, so I make a motion for up to $1,200.
Okay,
That work?
and so we'll get a smaller kit for here. And we'll get the 3 main kits for the 3 main buildings where people can actually get hurt.
Yeah.
Okay,
In the market.
okay, in the burn, okay,
Perfect.
okay,
All right, so I'll make a motion that we expend up to $1,200 for the 3 first aid kits and the burn kit.
and so it'll be 4,
So four total kits,
yeah,
and
in the burn kit, we just said if it has thing, yeah,
then we're good.
then we're good, yeah.
To be expended from
Out of safety, each
out of,
department has
out of
safety.
safety. Second. All in favor? Perfect.
Thank you.
Oh,
That's all I had.
Chief, you got the audit answer, correct?
Audit.
Yeah, audit answer. Well, we're signing the contracts. They're gonna be coming in and working with Lynn. So, I would get in contact with her. Who's gonna be coming? Kathy?
Karen, I think Karen will be coming. I'll be speaking with her tomorrow morning, so
To answer your,
I do. Mhm,
About that.
okay,
right,
they know what it is, and so they'll.
but it'll afford you the opportunity to come in and ask your questions. Because we covered that in the committee meeting, so. All right, okay, so good thing. No. Do you have, are you good?
I'm good.
Do you have? You have anything? Joe?
Kind of an old question, when there was the mediation for the administrative assistant situation. I think it was, I think we were told that it was $30,000, the mediated amount and the amount for person's attorney. Do we know what the attorney's fees are for us for that mediation?
I don't know of any, but I can ask.
And the second question is the town facing any other lawsuits right now?
Yes, currently we have 2 pending.
Can you tell us anything about?
One is, well, they're both Maine Human Rights Commission. One is ADA related and the other is, I don't really know how to classify that. I honestly don't.
The second,
Yes,
you know about.
I don't have-
It started out also with computer.
so they're both, the complaints both started out ADA with a compliance issue. And then they have since turned into lawsuit. So one of the ones that people will see that we're, we just signed contract tonight for an ADA compliance inspection from an outside entity. We have to do that. We need to get ahead of these. The other one, ADA compliance. I don't want to say anything that I'm not supposed to legally. So I will ask the question of the town's attorney and I will provide that verbiage to you. So please take that down, email Leah for how we respond to that. Please.
Thank you.
All right, I'll reach out to the town's attorney and ask about for the attorney's fees amount and to get that to provide. Thanks, sir. Anything else? Good. All right, so if somebody else has anything, I will make a motion to go into executive session in accordance with 1 MRS 405 6A for personnel. All in favor? How's the hand doing, Rick? Good, good, good. Coming along. Oh, yeah. Doc told me I was healing faster than she thought I was gonna. Is that right? Yeah. Good. So there's still a little bit of youth left in me yet. Have a good one. You too. Take care. Who set up the time for some point? It's good. Yeah.
Remain up.